Hi, I'm Rachel,
I'm Stephanie.
and we're going to be analyzing a scene from the movie Pleasantville, directed by Gary Ross.
We chose the clip A Lovely Shade of Blue because this scene shows the historical allusions and references to racial segregation and discrimination.
Throughout the movie, the black and white lives of Pleasantville were believed to be superior and the right way to live without flaws. People of color did not exist to them, and color didn't exist to them at all. Suddenly, their world was flipped upside down when their perfect lives were corrupted and the people began to turn to color.
This overarching theme within the movie is subtle, but when you use a historical lens and look for all the hints of symbolism, you see the true meaning behind the colored people and the colorless.
During previous centuries, segregation and discrimination ruled the social platform of America. Many whites viewed people of color as being less than them.
These ideals are alluded to during numerous shots in the scene and throughout the movie as a whole.
This sign, which reads "No Coloreds," directly alludes to the actual signs which were posted on the entrances of buildings, restrooms, drinking fountains, schools, and transportation systems. Businesses predominantly run by whites were for the most part against letting those of different colored skin enter their establishments.
They did this by hanging signs in the windows, and some altercations, probably more than recorded, ended in harassment when someone of color did enter their business.
The director made deliberate choices when panning across the "No Colored" sign. This shot leaves a queasy feeling within the viewer of reminiscent symbols of segregation. This allows viewers to tap into their emotions and knowledge of prejudice and racial discrimination. No matter what race you are, at some point we have all been subject to the harmful effects of racial tension. The large-scale, colorful painting of Betty displayed on the restaurant's window for all to see is clearly controversial. Not only is it a sex symbol, but it is also symbolic of the color corruption happening in Pleasantville. This is obviously off-putting to those who are stuck in black and white. Now we will see how this scene directly alludes to the destruction done by whites during times of segregation. The people of Pleasantville were so quick to attack and destroy the things of color. They saw color as being different, and they were unaccepting of anything different from the world they knew.
The destruction of the colorful and rather controversial painting on the window was incorporated by the director into the film to show that discrimination entered Pleasantville along with all of the other things supposedly corrupting their ideals.
This act in itself is ironic because they are destroying the colorful painting in order to preserve their perfect black and white world, but in the same instance, they are fueling themselves with hatred for those of color. Hate is a force that never existed in Pleasantville until the people began to notice their differences. This scene brings together all of the subtle hints the director gave and also the premise for the movie in its entirety. The whole concept is that a world in black and white is a perfect world. There is no room there for color because that would destroy it. The basis of the movie is an idea of black and white people, or the uncolored supremacy. Sound familiar?
This scene is the most important scene in the film because it was the first instance in which the viewer says, "Oh, this entire movie has been a direct allusion to racial segregation and we didn't even realize it." That is why this scene, A Lovely Shade of Blue, is the most important scene in the movie Pleasantville. Thanks for listening.